save me some.
MeltingMovies1 On Blast podcast. Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am doing well. Welcome back to my channel with a podcast where we talk about things that couples talk about. I guess life situations and things that we've gone through. Topic for today?
I don't know.
Let's talk about how things changed.
Okay.
Things are different now.
Yes.
Are they good?
Sometimes I think things are good, but are you talking about like the videos that we just watched and how?
Well, we've been watching old Price is Right videos, and we were watching movie theaters in the 80s and 90s, and
shopping malls.
Shopping malls in the 80s and the 90s, and I know personally sometimes I like to put on like parks, like kids going to the park and families at the park, or beaches back in the day, and things just don't seem to be the same anymore.
No.
We're like 70s, 80s, early 90s kids. And then after that was like we had our own kids and everything just stopped. And then things started to change. And now all of our shopping centers are closed, and all of our malls are closed, and
movie
theaters are closed. And do you think that there would be less problems in the world if they gave more things for our children to do?
Yes. I think that if the kids had more places to go and things to do, I do think that there would be less, because I think that the kids have too much time on their hands. They're not, even if they were at like these places, you know, at least you knew they were under one roof. You knew that they were at the movie theaters, or they were walking up and down a mall.
Yes.
You know, hanging at the arcade.
Do you think like creepy people were just invented like recently? Because I'll tell you what, as a kid, like I would be able to go up to the park by myself, and I could spend the whole day at the park, playing on the rides, watching the baseball games, going to the penny candy stands or whatever. You get like, if you had like $1, then you can get 100 something back in the day. I mean, I don't kind of date myself a little bit, but I remember like they would individually give us like the goldfish, not goldfish, the Swedish fish, for a penny a piece, and then they would have the remember the Chinese gums, fortune gums,
yes,
and those were I think 5 cents a piece.
Yes.
But then they also had the baseball gums, and those were like 5 cents a piece. So you get like a whole bag full of fun stuff, and you'd be able to sit down and watch the baseball game. And I don't remember having like any supervision.
So I think that there's always been creepy people around. I just think that now more than ever, because of social media, people get, you know, they want to be famous. So now, like before, you would have to either watch it on TV or it would come in the newspaper. Now it's like all of a sudden you're getting all of these, you know, alerts, or it's on, you know, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Like people are doing that. And I think that now a lot of times people do stuff because they want to get famous. So I do know, because even as a child, you know, I've told you about that van that drove around for weeks.
Yeah, I think that van was like a famous thing, though. You know, I think I'm pretty sure that any child abductor back in the 70s and 80s had to own a van like that. I think it was necessary.
But it wasn't,
because all of my stories of abductions had to do with some guy in the back of a van.
Yeah,
of some sort.
But it wasn't a white van.
But nowadays, that's kind of like a telltale sign to not like go next to that van. I think kids have gotten a little bit smarter when it comes to like strangers and stuff like that because of the way things are. But I don't necessarily think that it's good that they don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
I think that it causes a lot of. I know that our kids they all did drama, spent a lot of time at school, so that was a good thing. But when they didn't have things to do, they would get themselves in trouble because there was nothing to do. I mean, we had. I remember when I was younger, we had dances every Friday and Saturday night at the churches. The churches would have the dances, and everybody would go, and we'd buy a $2 ticket, and we'd go to a dance or whatever on a Friday. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was a big thing for everybody. Dances on a Friday and Saturday night. Did you go to dances on a Friday and Saturday night?
Didn't go to church dances.
Well, they weren't. I mean, they were at the church, but they weren't specifically church dances. They were,
but like with us,
they were mainstream song
when
dances.
When I was younger, it was ice skating, it was roller skating, and then there was a little teen club, like nightclub that we would go dance in. That was more.
I never went to the dance club, but I always used to go to the ice skating rink. That was a normal Friday, Saturday, or Sunday thing too, where they would have sports for a certain time, and then they had public skating for an hour, and you could get to go there. And
but the roller skating, you used to be able to go, and then they would have like girls' choice or guys' choice.
You know what I think I'm starting to realize is that like this world made things too easy for this generation, and it's kind of like they don't have to try very hard.
No.
Like I'm gonna talk about let's talk about dating nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I know in the case of our children, you pretty much pick the person you want. You go on the internet, you go on your phone, and you snap them or you DM them or whatever it is. Back in the day, we had to like work for our relationship. You know, you actually had to physically have to talk to somebody face to face or make a phone call and talk to them verbally instead of sending a text message, and then you actually had to pick up the person, take them out, pay for their meal. Where I noticed with our kids, they didn't do that. They didn't like we have a son, and he wouldn't pay for his girl's meal. You know, he wouldn't. You know, it was very.
But that's not just him, because even like, you know, the doctor that I work with, he said the same thing. Like when him and his wife were dating, and he's like, she'll pay for her meal, I'll pay for mine, and I was just like. What happened to, you know, and I mean, maybe it's just different, but like whatever happened to, like, you know, the guy takes a check, he's taking you on a date or whatever, or like they were saying before, like chivalry, but where is all this stuff? And now it's like, all right, here's the bill, Venmo me whatever your portion.
Venmo your half, and then I'll Venmo the other half.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I just think that's way too. I used to tell our son all the time, like, geez, if I lived back then, like you know, when you went to go hit on a girl or whatever, you had to go, like, you had to work for it. You know, you chase her around the mall a couple of times, and then if you're lucky, she slows down, and then you have to actually go over there and verbalize how you feel. Where now it's like you just pick one. It's like open up the phone book and picking one at random and being like, oh, okay, well, I think I like you, so let me just send you a picture of me, and you send me a picture of you. We'll send pictures of each other, and the next thing you know, we're dating. And then the relationships don't work out.
But the whole thing is, it's not even just like pictures of each other. Like they're sending like a picture of the floor, and they'll put like a little caption.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Remember they had that thing for a while. It used to drive me crazy. It was a runs. They had the runs. What they have? Where they would have to snap somebody every single day, and they were obsessed with it. Like they had to have it every single day. They're like, "Oh, you're messing up my whatever." Because
wait, what is the word?
Streak. I've had a 2-year streak.
No, the thing is that's when they used to get like in trouble, and they would lose their phone. You're gonna mess up my streaks.
Yes,
I gotta do my streaks.
What the hell is a streak? I to this day, all I thought was a streak was them just taking a picture, like you're saying, of like the floor, of the ceiling, but they had to actually acknowledge this person every single day.
Yeah, so...
But what do you win? What was the prize at the end?
The whole thing is, like, the way that it would go is, I think they would be, like, your number one person on your list. Like, you know, our oldest, because she's always sending something to me with the kids, like, there's, like, a fire that's next to her now, and I'm just assuming that she's, like, my top person that, like, will snap me or whatever, because like the other ones don't really snap.
Yeah, I don't have Snapchat, so I'm not familiar with the Snapchat code. But I just remember.
I'm just assuming.
I remember they used to flip out. We took their phone away and it was like, "Oh,
so mad.
I've been working on this streak for 2 years, and
I'm gonna lose my." No,
took the
it was
streak
like
away.
crying. I'm gonna lose my streak.
But I don't know what the streak was. The streak just to prove their love and affection for a boyfriend or girlfriend that they were dating, or a friend, or
no,
it was just very confusing.
It was something that they wanted to achieve, but it was like it also made them like a little psychotic about it.
Oh, they were very psychotic about it.
Yeah.
You took that phone away and you messed up their streak, and it's like I know that we would break by the end of the night. It'd be like, you can have your phone back for a minute, just for the streak.
Just for the streak, go ahead and do
then
this.
give it back.
But then it would even get.
Where are the streaks now?
But no, because
are they going to be talking about this in the future?
They still have like something like that, because I know like afterwards, they've talked about their significant others, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, I'm not their bestie, or I'm not their streak, whatever. Like they're my top whatever, but not me on theirs or whatever. They chat, and I'm like,
yeah, it's very strange.
Does it really matter?
Like I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure that every single, well, we know our oldest one met her husband at the church, so no streaks involved.
No,
but I'm pretty sure every one of my other children, in order to get their significant other, they either stalked them on social media or hit them up through a DM, or they found them through a DM, which to me, I don't think it's a little weird, a little creepy, a little strange. Like I know in order to get you, I had to put some time and effort in. I think kids nowadays are lazy. We got a lot of. I think due to the fact that when we were younger, we had a bar in every corner, and then we had a convenience store in every corner. The fact that they have a dispensary in every corner and a not even convenience stores anymore. Now it's either a liquor store or a dispensary. I'm pretty sure that they were gonna do something, but then they got high. They don't put in any effort to go try to get anybody anymore. It's like it's a kind of a strange world that we kind of live in now. That it's not. I don't know. I remember how much work I had to. Like, I actually had to contact you.
Well, I mean, but listen, even like just like kind of running back with this dispensary or whatever, or different things. Do you ever notice how like that's all you could smell?
I being a person that
like that's all you could smell. Like I went shopping the other day with my mother, and it was like both aisle, the aisle that we were in, both ends of the aisle had these people, these customers there, and like the amount of like the potency that it had, it was just, and it was like there was nothing, and all I kept thinking was like, if that was me, and it's not something that I do, but I'd be like,
yeah, because you can't smoke marijuana because you get
no, I know, but I'm not saying that part, but just like somebody knowing or what, like I would, you know what I mean? Like I would want to be discreet or
yeah, I know, I noticed that too. I noticed that, like, because I mean, being a past smoker, yeah. Okay, which my viewers know that I started smoking when I was like 16, and then I quit. But that was when it was legal, and we had to get it from a guy who had it from a guy whose father was a friend with a guy that knew a guy that was on a boat that would have it shipped over, and you'd have to go out to the parking lot, and he'd have it hidden over his wheel well, and he'd sneak it over to us for like $5 it was $5 a joint or whatever it was. Now, like, everybody, it's so acceptable that everybody is just like, and I think the biggest problem is I think the reason why we have so many like creepers and weirdos out there nowadays is because they do what they do, and they kind of like mask their issue for the temporary time when they're high, and then reality sets back in again, then they gotta get high again. But yeah, you're right. I don't know, but I try not to be judgmental, and I do know that marijuana does help a lot of people that have a lot of disabilities, people that are struggling with different things and everything. So I don't really have a problem with that, but the fact that, if you do have that much of a disability, maybe you should stay home, instead of being like walking around, because sometimes we have our grandkids, and sometimes, and also our own kids, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel, because I know that sometimes they battle, and I'm like, I battle sometimes. I mean, being the fact that I smoked from like 16 to whatever, and I'm almost 50 now. You know what I mean? It's like, and I don't smoke anymore. When I smell it, it does give me like the hint of like, maybe I should go get some because everybody else is doing it. It's become like the new liquor. You know what I mean? And it's like, I personally don't think it's as dangerous as drinking, but I do wish people would stay home. If they're gonna go do it. I don't know about you, but when I would do it, I'd be happy with like a canister of Pringles and a bottle of soda and a movie or a TV show, and I just stay home and veg. But these people nowadays, they go out. And the worst part is that they're high so much that they don't even know that they smell like they're high.
Yeah.
You know how many times have we walked by like people and we're like, oh man, look at, like we've had our own children come home and they come walking through the door, and I'm like, dude, you reek. You know what I mean? I don't smell anything. Know what I love? This is my friend's shirt. Oh, this is my friend's jacket. Or this is my friend's. But no, you liar. You know, that wasn't. It's not your friend. Even if it is, who's smoking it?
That's been for how many years?
Oh, now, we were hotboxing in the car, and I couldn't help but get it to smell like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it in my house. You know?
Yeah, I gotta talk to them. Like, listen.
We had an incident when I broke my ribs. I was like doing a breathing technique things there, and I'll tell you, it was like we had a visitor. The visitor came in and walked into the house and walked around or whatever, and I'm like, I'm having problems breathing, and now I got to breathe in deep. I'm probably gonna get high, just contact high from this stuff. But I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there is nothing going on anymore. No. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Kids can't do it. Like,
well, not just that, but if there is something to do, everything is so outrageously expensive.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we can't explain where we live, but recently they opened up a place.
Yeah. And
I don't even think I could afford to pocket a parking lot. You know what I mean? That's how expensive it is, and it's like everybody's all so excited and to go to this place, but I'm like, I'll probably never see the interior of that place in my whole life. I'll probably never see the interior here and how much it costs to go see it. It's a big deal. But it's a big deal for people to have. Now, that's another thing is that, you know, where are these kids going to get the money to go do this stuff? You know, I don't even get it. I mean, bad enough they don't pay for their girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever anymore. They don't do that stuff, and I just don't understand with the thought process. I know for a while I remember talking to you that I wanted to like see if there was a way that I could rent out some kind of venue. To DJ, just a DJ like on a weekend, you know, and just like have my equipment stay there, rent out the venue, and have it be like we had back in the day. I mean, I never really went to those little club things that you had, but I know that they were going on like since my mother was a kid, and then they rolled over into our childhood. But I never really went there. But I'll tell you right now, every Friday and Saturday when I got older, when I was over 16 years old, 17 years old, I was like living at these like Lupo's Hot Break Hotel and the Strand and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that's where I like every night I saw like some of the best bands in the world, and the tickets were like $7. Like I saw bands that were big now that were nothing back then. I didn't even care who was playing because it was just cool to be there. You know, you go for that long ride, you know, and then you go with your friends. You always had that one friend. His name was Karen.
Okay.
No, and he didn't have a job. He didn't want to get a job. And he was always broke. And he's like, but he's your friend. And you're like that guy used to drive me crazy. I feel bad 'cause he was a good guy, but after a while, I'm like, listen, we ain't dating, and I got a job, and this guy's got a job. And we all got jobs to get in this place, but you don't have a job. Like he was the guy that like we're going to the beach. Yeah, okay, I'll go to the beach for you guys, but I got no money to chip in for pay to go to the beach. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll get in the car anyway. We'll go, and then we go over to the concession stand. He's like, oh man, am I hungry? I'm like, after a while, we were like, we're gonna have to cut you loose because I can't afford this. We got no relationship here, and you're kind of just dragging me like an anchor. You know, you're breaking me here. But
I think that when you talk about like, you know, you're DJing and you know having it, I also get like. I would get nervous.
Yeah, I don't think it could be because there would be fights.
Well, not just that.
There would be fights.
No, we had like our kids would have like their Sweet 16 or whatever parties, and me, you know, our son-in-law and different people were constantly walking
like
outside.
bouncers.
Yeah, because
You
it
gotta
was
use them
like
as bouncers.
everyone's going outside.
They're going
and
outside
they
to
wanna go
smoke or drink or
and
whatever.
I'm like,
They're smuggling stuff
seriously,
in or
can't
whatever.
you just come in here and have fun and just...
No, some of those later parties were like pretty rough because
They
it
were
was
rough
like,
because the kids just
and then they're picking fights with each other, and then this one's cheating on this one with that one,
and then this one's trying to make this one jealous because they broke up, and now this one's bringing this girl, and this guy's bringing this girl, whatever. Like, it was just, and I'm gonna show them. Listen, this is a family event.
It was. I mean, we even had shoes stolen.
Shoes stolen
by the bartender. By the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
We got on camera. The bartender goes over and stole the shoes off this girl, and I thought we were going to be held responsible for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to roll because nobody knew that I was recording the entire thing. So when I rolled back the footage, I was like, oh my gosh! I thought it was going to be a child, but it was the bartender came over and cleaning off the table nonchalantly, and then.
Yep.
Scooped up the shoes and walked away. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Now we get this one girl walking around shoeless at the end of the thing, and someone stole my shoes. But everybody was all high and drunk and whatever. And one of them we had was even worse, where they kept going out the back door, and it's like, and we were told by the venue owner, we're like, we don't have any problems. We can't have people going out the back door, and then you have to sign a paper for responsibility and all stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm constantly like, hey, keep it inside. Oh, it's just hot.
It ain't hot. You're going outside. You need to get high
exactly.
Because you can't enjoy life and be in the now. You need to muffle whatever it is. Yeah, enhance your experience. I guess I don't know. I always feel like personally, what I've been realizing lately is concerts. I remember one of the last like 4 or 5 concerts that I went to. I was like scared to death that the person I brought with me was going to be carrying something. Mm-hmm. But now it's acceptable. It's like you can walk right in with it, like behind your ear. You know what I mean? And they don't stop you. They don't take it away. Back when I was there, you had to swallow a balloon and stick it up your butt. You know what I mean? And smuggle the stuff into the venue or whatever it was. But now it's like you look around, and then you look around. It's all a bunch of people sitting down and they're high, not even like enjoying the like you just paid $200 a ticket to see this thing, and now you're not even gonna remember it.
Look like. Years ago, we had gone to that concert, and we had that guy in front of us, all rocking out and all like happy. Then all of a sudden,
he just sit,
and it was like lunged forward, whatever.
Yeah, like he's gonna pass out.
Look like he was gonna pass out.
And then, but it was funny. It was like 10 minutes later, he pop up. He's like, rock and roll, and then he sit back down again, like and like. Comatose. Have his head down.
But the whole thing is
and the head's not banging no more, and he's like all like like a zombie.
Got a show like on the stage, but
he's looking at the floor.
But then we're like focused on him because he was more entertaining than the concert. Because I was like, is this guy gonna fall over? I mean, it's like you paid all this money for this stuff, and you're gonna. Yeah, I remember that guy. It just seems to be a thing nowadays. I don't know. I just think that I remember my normal routine as a kid. Was go to school, get out of school, go directly to the movie theater, go see a movie. After I left the movie theater, I would stop by the park and go play at the park. The kids always be playing basketball. You could either go watch them play basketball, or you could participate in the basketball. And then you go to the playground area, you do all that stuff like that. And then you could go home, and you go home and watch more TV or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it was very simple. You know what I mean? And literally the parks around here, they got rid of all the playground stuff. So now it's like 2 baseball fields, and the playground's gone. And I'm like, what are kids supposed to do nowadays? And where is that slide that's made out of metal that has all the rotten pieces on it that you need tetanus shots for, that you go down? Or it's like summertime, it's like 400 degrees, and it's so hot that you get the burn. Or you're wearing those 70s, 80s shorts with the line on the side, different strokes, and you're sliding down this thing. It's like, and you got a tank top on, and
and you're like, and then your grandma's at the bottom, like, you want to do it again? I'm like, I get 3rd-degree burn on the back of my legs. I'll do it 2 more times.
Swings were like those like leather seats with like the chains. And kids were like wrapping it around like the.
Yeah, I hated when they did that.
That was so mean.
Because I'm like 7.
Yeah,
I can't reach them, and then you're with your friend, and they're like trying to climb the thing to get the swings down. What was the purpose of that? This is mean people out there.
Yeah, and you didn't like the seesaws.
No, seesaws give me nightmares. That's because my uncle was a big guy.
Yeah.
And he would sit on it, like stand up and then sit and send me flying over the seesaw. So now I have seesaw PTSD or something right now. I can't sit on a seesaw. It drives me nuts. I feel like they go too high.
Yeah.
And not only that, like I said, he was a big guy when he used to sit on it. He would send me flying into the middle of the seesaw. Like I'd be trying to hang on to it with my legs, but I was so little, it was like, forget it.
I think the first time I ever saw you like freak out, we had our oldest and we were at the playground, and she went on with you, and only like 5 or 6, you were like, no, like, all right, enough.
Yeah, 'cause I'm a big guy. Because it just makes sense. It's like those things they got the people jump in those big banana things and send the people flying into the ocean.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that thing. I mean, if you put a 300-pound guy on one side of a seesaw and a little girl that weighs like 10 pounds on the other side, that ain't gonna end well. Because as soon as I put all my weight on it, I'm gonna send her flying over my shoulders. And seesaws are just scary.
But yeah, you swiped our daughter with the
pillow. But we were having fun that day. You know? I was just chasing them, hitting them with the pillows. We were having like a little pillow fight thing, and she was just running and running. But I swept the legs and sent her flying up in the air about 3 feet. It was pretty. Hey, that's a story for, to this day that they still talk about. Yeah. She seems to be okay.
I flew.
So, yeah, she goes, I flew. Yeah, I don't know. I just, from watching these videos, I mean, I'm probably going to entitle this nostalgic something or whatever, but just from watching we were watching the old McDonald's, and we were watching old movie theaters, and we were watching old malls, and I'm looking at the places like Suncoast Video, and the FYEs, and like the way the food courts were back in the day, and the way that the movie theaters were back in the day. Like everybody was going to the movies. That was a big thing. Now it's like even a movie they take the fun out of it. It's like I don't know about you, but the whole like we gotta buy our tickets ahead of time and pick the seats that we want, and then if we're lucky we get it. Back in the day, you paid $2.50 to go see a movie or whatever it was, $5. I think it moved up to $5, but I think it was up to $7 when I stopped. And like you got into the theater, and if you found a seat, you're lucky you found a seat.
Well, look at when we went to go see Titanic.
Yeah, we were in the front row. We walked out of that one.
Forget
about that. It's
we're
like,
gonna leave, but like we would have known.
We would have been in the ocean with Jack and what's her face there, Kate
Rose?
Winslet there, Rose, whatever, because we were so damn close. They're like, you okay? Is it okay if you get front seat? I'm like, and even that, what did I have to do? I had to go find a guy at the flea market that he's like, psst, hey, what are you looking for? I'm like, you got a copy of Titanic? Oh, shh. Hey, come here. And he's reaching underneath the table. He's selling bootleg copies of Titanic so we could watch Titanic. Because not only was
Turbo Man.
Yeah, they were like sold out forever, and it was like you wanted to see it. And I mean, it was a good quality version I got, but still,
TV.
Yeah, the little TV, the 13-inch TV, which people don't even have. I don't think 13-inch TVs exist now. I think they call them computer monitors.
I know we went to the store the other day, today, my mom was like, 65-inch TV for $298. I was like,
Is the new generation all blind? Are they all blind nowadays? I remember sitting in front of a little tiny 13-inch. That was the 13 inches. That's with the coat hanger on the back. We didn't even have the rabbit ears because the rabbit ears broke, and then my father put a coat hanger in it, and then he put some aluminum foil on top of that. There's like a whole setup, but no embarrassment. Like the family would come over and be like, "This is what we're dealing with."
Yeah.
And then the other TV was like a piece of furniture. The thing was like the size of a couch, and it had like all this stuff built into it. The record player was built into the top. The TV was the bottom, and
they started having like the
doors. I just think that things were so much better. And I gotta tell you, the 70s were like everybody was smoking marijuana back in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I never noticed it.
No.
I never know. My mother used to tell me all the time, "Oh, your father's was in a rock band. Of course, he's doing stuff like that." And but I'll tell you, I never.
But don't you think that like back then, like it was done, but it also wasn't like overly done. Like I know many people who like will sit there and will be outside, and it's not even just, smoking a little bit. Like, out there smoking a lot. And then we'll come in, to wherever you are, be there for like maybe like 10 minutes and then go back out and have to do more.
Yeah,
and all I'm thinking is like, wouldn't that like kind of like keep you, satisfied for like so much time? Like, is it to the point where you're so like,
I think it's just a regular, like it's a routine.
Like,
it's become a routine. I learned about this stuff when I was in college. I think it was an oral fixation.
Yeah.
You feel like you gotta constantly have something going on,
Well, they say like that with like smoking cigarettes. That's why they tell you to like.
Because I know for a fact, because I'm pretty sure my viewers know that when I did smoke though, it was one puff before I went to bed at night because I have major anxiety and it would help me calm down. I'd put on a movie. I take one hit, and that joint would literally last me 2 weeks. Okay, and I take one hit, and I never felt it wear off. You know what I mean? It was like a one little hit. Watch the TV show, relax, sit back, and a little bit of your problems go away a little bit of your issues go away. Where now it's like I've seen like some people go through like one after the other after the other. And it's like I don't get it. It's like do they even know if they're where they're supposed to be? Like I remember talking to a couple of these people. I'm like, listen, why don't you just do that one little hit like I used to do, and realize that it's affecting you. Instead of smoking the whole thing at like they're not $5 a piece no more either. They're a lot more money than what they were, and so now they're spending all their money, and
but the problem
are they enjoying it?
But it's not just that. Like they're doing that, and then they also have to now do this. Over
Yes,
here.
they got the vaping,
and like
and now you get the alcohol.
But, yeah, and it's just like there's so many things that like someone was expressing different things that are getting done, and my curiosity, I start to like look into, okay, like how is this working with each other, and the side effects and everything that's on there. Like this is all stuff that is accessible, okay, not back in the day like when we were younger and you had to get it from a guy who got it from a guy who
yeah, we knew that guy.
Yes,
and then every once in a while, that's another thing, is every once in a while they have a dry spell.
Yeah.
And you couldn't find any for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like you start figuring out different ways of getting it or whatever. And there is no dry spells anymore.
There's no dry spells, and like all these things that are, so unsafe for people to be like mixed or like kind of put together. It's like you could just go into the store.
This vaping thing's terrible.
Well, it's vaping, but there's another thing that's out there. And
see, I'm not familiar. What is this other thing that's out there? I'm not familiar with any other things besides vaping and the marijuana smoking.
I think it's called like kratom.
Kratums?
It's.
You looking this up?
Yeah.
You can look it up, and I'll give some. I just know that as a parent, it's been extremely difficult to keep our kids away from. I mean, think about this. Even these dispensaries, they put them in brownies. They put them in cakes. They're in candies. They're in. I mean, they got so many. There's a variety of different ways for you to get high, that like it's like almost impossible for not anybody to be on something nowadays.
So it's got like kratom and like the marijuana, when used together, there's been let me see over here, like what several cases show drug interactions with that and like cannabis. Because it says that they're both addictive and they have effects, whatever.
And how many battles have we had with our own, saying that marijuana is not an addictive substance? When I'll tell you right now, it is 100% an addictive substance. The debate that I had was, what's that say? I can't read from there. I'm going blind.
Someone that they have a case reported that someone that was under the influence of cannabis and kratom induced a self-amputation of their ears.
Well, that's fun.
But these are things that you can get.
Yeah, I think they don't even know what they're putting in their bodies.
Exactly.
And I'm so sick and tired of hearing about percentages. Oh, I'm doing a 15%. I love this one. Yeah, you don't know how difficult it is because, back in the day, you did this. Yeah, well, we didn't have these things to worry about either, where it's like, I wasn't figuring out percentages back then. Yeah, I couldn't do no math anyway, even if I wanted to. But on top of that, it's like, so you got to blame your addiction, your problem, on the fact that you can't control what you put up to your lips. You know, it's like you don't blame the whole world for your addiction.
And if you know that much about it, and like
you're so educated on it, then stop.
Then stop. And the thing is that, you know, it's so sad to see how quickly this takes over.
It is. It's like, yeah, I know you never saw it. You probably never seen the movie The Stuff. You ever seen the movie The Stuff? No, it's one of those movies that I watch by myself. But it's about this stuff that's like it's kind of like a yogurt, but they find it in the earth and they put it in, they bottle it all up and they put it in like a can, almost like ice cream, and they sell it on the shelf. And what it does is actually like gets into people's bodies and it possesses their minds and bodies or whatever. That's what I feel like this stuff is, because I've noticed, I don't know, some of our loved ones that are completely great people, when they are on this stuff, they are angry, miserable, you know, they're just not themselves. And I also was watching this thing not too long ago that's saying that even if you're like 21 years old, your like frontal lobe of your brain is not developed all the way yet, something like that. And if you've been smoking since you were like younger, then it could be causing problems with. So a lot of these like disabilities and stuff that are going on with people nowadays, you know, with all these like different. Everybody's got something. Everybody somewhere is on the spectrum somewhere nowadays, and I think that, you know, I just think it's too easy to get. I think it's too easy to get. And I don't think that they know what to do with themselves. I think it's very sad that you can't find something better to do on a Friday night than to sit around with your friends. And you get emotional. Are we getting emotional here? Oh, go ahead. This is good for content there. If you start breaking down. I can't keep dead air here, so you can break down and you can. What's the problem? You got what's you gotta verbalize it, because they can't see exactly what's going on. Well, she's breaking down. She had a little bit of a breakdown here where she started to cry, and she's not verbalizing stuff, so that's not good. Yes, we have people that we love that are struggling with addiction, and they don't want to accept the fact that they are addicts, and they are pretty much throwing their lives away, and it's sad. It's extremely sad. I'm starting to build up a little bit of a tolerance, not so much a tolerance, but like I was blaming myself for a while and being like, you know, maybe I'm the reason, or maybe the way I did things, the way I raised people, the way I think, and what I'm starting to come to like a piece of my life is like, I didn't do nothing. You know, I never forced anybody to do something, and they never. Matter of fact, even when I was smoking, I would wait till everybody was asleep. I would either go in the basement or I would go outside. None of our kids knew what I was doing, and when they started to, like when it got really, really popular and everybody smelled like that and everything, that's when I stopped. I didn't want them to know that I was doing that. I felt guilty. I felt like, how could I be a role model in their lives, and I'm telling them don't do this? I was being hypocritical. I'm like, no, I'm telling you not to do this, but I'm doing it. So I just stopped. And the other thing that gets me is I stopped cold turkey. And all of the people that we know that are addicted to this stuff are like, I can't stop. And I'm like, how come you can't stop, but I could? Like cold turkey, and if I was smoking since I was 16 years old,
you were smoking since you were 16,
and now I'm 50, but I stopped probably.
But the thing is look at the amount that you were doing, like.
Yeah, but I still get sad at the end of the night. But the thing is, I just go to bed.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like. I'm saying you were only doing a little bit at a time, where it's like.
They wake and bake. That's what they call it, wake and bake.
Yes.
They get up in the morning.
It's like to be able to do anything and function.
Yeah, like
they have to
go to work. That one like get by.
And then it's like, but it's, you know, it's the fact that they could be out in public or out with, you know, different things, or, you know, jobs, whatever kind of settings that they're in, and they have to have this or whatever in order to be able to do things.
I'm surprised they don't get fired.
I've had people who are, you know, driving, and sometimes our kids will say stuff, and I'm just like, and responses all the time, I'm okay. But you don't know that you are. Because any time that any of this, you know, happens, a sip of, you know, wine, whatever, I can have a sip of wine, And, even if you go out occasionally, whatever, something can happen and you have that in you. And I feel like I'm trying so hard, and coming from a family that suffers from addictions and everything else, and having to, like, be past that. Having, like, loved ones that have overcome that. And it's like, I just feel like,
Well, see, the thing is,
I feel like I am the person sitting here from the outside wanting to just shake them and be like, snap out of it. Like what is wrong with you? Like, why do you need this or do these things? And you can tell when, they're like, when they're not around us, or those that, don't come around, because deep down, I feel like they know their choices and things that they're doing is not something that we would really approve of or have those things. So I think that's why sometimes our children will stay away, because, it's those things, or, and it's the people that are around them.
Yep.
And my thing is, it's like, I've had to.
I thought I raised my kids better than to be a
follower.
Is
like I've had to sit here and, really battle myself, because I'm like, could I have said something? Could I have done something? And then it was like, kind of like what you're saying. I had to, like, let it go. And, as you've said, on your channel, you have a relationship, you pray or you do things. I have to sit here and say, like, it's not my fault. It's not your fault. Like, we're here.
But as parents, we still battle
thinking
that we did something wrong.
But, like,
I do want to make it clear before you say something. I want to make it clear that all of our children are 21 years old and up.
Oh, yeah.
So when we say, I just want to make it clear that so if you're new listeners, they understand that when we're talking about children, we always talk about our kids or our children. We're not talking about, like, 15-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old kids. We're talking about 21 to 28, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 21 to 28-year-old men and women. So to make that clear that we are battling with this stuff, but these are also people that are legal to go pick up this stuff and legal to go get this stuff, but need to have enough brains to know when to quit.
But the thing is, and it's not just, it's not just them, because they are around people that do this, and do other things. That's the part that scares me. What scares me is, like, we've had a lot in the area, even, former classmates or whatever, that have lost their lives in a car accident. And
I had a kid die in his sleep.
But the fact that, I don't know, but I'm not just saying like with us, I'm saying with our kids. Our kids have had that, and you would think that would be certain things too, or whatever. And it's like, I sit here and it's like, so I'm so afraid that there's going to be that knock on the door, or there's going to be that phone call or whatever. And like, you can't take it back. You can't sit there and say, well, I wish, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have done these things. And it's like, I hope that things can change and things get better. And I know, like, when I was a kid and I had people in my life that, were addicted to different things, and I would, like, beg. It never, like, it wasn't done because of me. Like, they had to make that choice.
Yeah, we're not important enough. Like, I literally had a conversation, like, last week with one of our family members, and I said to them, listen, I want you to make one promise to me. Because I had just broken my ribs, and I was in the hospital, in and out of the hospital, and I was afraid I was going to die of pneumonia and all this other stuff. And I said, can you make me one promise? If I drop dead, my dying wish is for you to stop doing this. And the person told me, oh yeah, if you drop dead, I will definitely stop doing this. And then I looked them right in the face. I'm like, so it's gonna take for me to die in order for you. Wouldn't it be nice if you did it now so I can see it while I'm alive? Because I don't approve, and I don't like to see you like this. I feel like you have your whole future ahead of you, but no real place is going to take you seriously to hire you for a job if you're reeking of marijuana every day, or if you look like you're high every day, or if you just. I think some of them even just like give up on like their appearance and the way that they dress and the way that they look. They'll think nothing of just like looking like bums. You know what I mean? It's like when you're falling apart. You're letting everything go. What the thing that gets me is that I worked so hard for so many years to make sure that we had everything. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be like my mother and say, oh, well, we had beautiful Christmases. Yeah, we had beautiful Christmases, but my father was bipolar lunatic, and you abandoned us or whatever at a certain age there with a bipolar lunatic. We had wonderful Christmases, but we were also very. You and me both were very. What would you call it? As far as parents go, we were very. Involved. We were we were not absent parents. Okay, our kids played soccer. They played basketball. They did plays. They did football, and we were at all the games. We were at all the stuff. We were doing all these things with these kids. We were not absent parents. We were not. I was a plopper. My mother would plop me in front of the TV and be like, "Okay, the TV's gonna raise you. Okay, Mr. Wilder's gonna be your dad, and Archie Bunker's gonna be your dad, and and all these people are gonna be where our kids were always with us. I was working third shift. You were working first shift, and I took care of the kids all day. And you took care of the kids for the 3 hours before you put them to bed or whatever, and then I had to go off the third shift and work. We were very involved, and our kids did a lot. I mean, from karate to ballet. I mean, it was like they were all involved in stuff, and it's like I just feel like nowadays, because there's nothing for anybody else to do but just get high and hang out at somebody's house and get high. It's just like such a normal thing, and it's not being used for like the right reasons. Like sometimes I look at the people that we know and love that are doing it, and I'm like, I've known you for your entire life. What is so bad in your life that you need to mask your original feelings every single day from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed at night? And what are you doing to your body? What are you doing to your lungs? What are you doing to? I mean, I don't know what's in these vapes. I don't know what's in these.
The thing is that even the ones that do this stuff, it doesn't change.
Oh, they're still miserable.
You got one that's miserable, one that's sad, or what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
I find that marijuana just enhances your feelings. I know. In my case,
like back in the day, you thought it was like Cheech and Chong. They just sat there and they would like relax and laugh, whatever.
Not again the cars, and they go for rides. They go places. That part drives me crazy. I'm like, because I don't think you should be behind the wheel of a car, no matter. I will tell you that. I mean, my entire life, even when me and you were at the beginning of our relationship, there was a couple of instances where you got sick after I had smoked,
and I had to have somebody to come.
And I would not get behind the wheel of that car. But I felt a lot of guilt. I felt very, very guilty. I'm like, I can't even give her a ride. And it's not that I couldn't give you a ride; it's that I wouldn't give you a ride because I knew I mentally was not in the right state. You know what I mean? So I was not going to put your life in danger, my life in danger. It was better for somebody to come get you, but I felt guilty about it. So I'm glad I quit, I don't have a craving to start up again. I mean, I get sad, I get depressed, I get, I have anxiety attacks all the time. I mean, that helped. The only one. That helped me take care of it. Yeah, no. A lot of people have anxiety attacks. Anxiety attacks is like the new I don't know what. I mean, it just seems to be like that was never a thing. Now everybody's got anxiety. Everybody's struggling with anxiety.
The weight of everything in the world. It's, like even like when we were watching like before, going back to like the McDonald's and stuff, like, I was commenting on how there were so many workers. There were so many supervisors.
They were smiling.
And so many workers on that floor. They had things already pre-made. How many times now, especially even like when we do DoorDash, and you go there, and the order was, you were probably like a mile away, you accepted the order, you get there, and they still haven't put it together. Like, can you imagine DoorDash back then? Things would have been like, you would have been able to get so many orders completed in a matter of time because they just had things done. Now you go and there's this one local business, and I won't say it, I don't know if you want to say it, but the lack of cleanliness that they have drives me up a wall. The fact that I will
talking Taco Hell.
Oh gosh, yes. I will stand there.
There's so much lettuce and tomatoes and crap on the floor
that they could
be picking up or scooping up or what. I have no idea. I don't know if they put it back inside the containers, but
like I've gone for those orders, and kid you not, I could be standing there for 10 to 15 minutes before one person says, "Can I help you with something?" And they're all looking at you. They all make eye contact. And they're all complaining about something or somebody that's there.
They're expecting you to use the lazy kiosk.
Yeah. And the thing is that I'm there to pick up a DoorDash. And I just need you to give me the order. But they constantly do that. And it's just like... And then you've got even like the managers. And, you know, something that... I don't work at a fast food restaurant. You know, the place that I work at, I make it a point that every single person is welcomed. Every time they come in, we're saying good morning, welcome in, or whatever it is. You make eye contact and you let them know that somebody. And if you're able to, you know,
because people don't care about people,
but they don't, and that's
nobody's
just like,
nobody's important anymore.
That's just so rude.
What about that? I had to go in for the DoorDash at Popeyes. Yeah, that was swearing in front of children, little children over there, and this person is swearing and swearing and swearing, and then it was a DoorDash. They give me the cup to go fill up the person's drink, which they're not supposed to do.
It's not even working.
And, you know, not only was it not working, but there was ice about the size of like a glacier, and then the rest was on the floor. And the only choice that was there was orange soda, and it was literally like orange water. Mm-hmm. And I felt so guilty dropping off that order that day, because I'm like, this poor bugger is gonna get orange water, because this is not, they can't even change the damn things behind there, and there's so many workers, and they're just swearing at each other and fighting, yelling at the customers.
But you know what's sad? They may have gotten their order there many times. Maybe they're used to that.
I'll tell you, the place was busy. We don't normally eat at Popeye's Chicken. That's not our go-to place. We're KFC people, but you know, I actually prefer KFC over Popeyes anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But just to see like the crowd, and it was so messed up, because it was like there was the like I said, it was, what was the worst part was just that there was children there, and like every other word out of this girl's mouth was the F word, and she's like behind the counter, and there was other DoorDash people, and one of the DoorDash guys could not speak English, and he's like pretty much showing the lady his phone, so that way she can understand what order they're trying to pick up. And she was like, "Get that phone out of my face! Get that effing phone out of my face!" Whatever. And he's like, he's trying to express that he's trying. This is the order he's trying to pick up. I mean, the guy can't speak English. I get it. Maybe that's wrong. Okay, but he's still kind of a human being, and he's trying to make some money probably for his family. It would be nice if you just like you could take 2 seconds and just look at what he's trying to pick up. And the sad thing was his order was right there. I saw it. Mm-hmm. His order was right there, and then I had to go use the bathroom. And they have the bathroom locked off with a cleaning sign, and that bathroom was not being cleaned. They were not cleaning that bathroom. They just did not want anybody to use the bathroom, because they were going to have to clean it later on at night.
Do you remember the McDonald's one that we went to go get, and the girl's gut was hanging out?
Yes.
So
the lady, the worker. It was a worker.
Worker, yeah.
She has her shirt tied up in the front with her belly button hanging out. And there's food all over the floor. Like, there's buns on the floor. As a matter of fact, they dropped, I think, a pile of cups. The cups were all over the floor in the back. And I was like, when you DoorDash, I'll tell you learn a lot of different things. You learn when not to eat. Like we'll find another McDonald's. We're not gonna go back to that one. Well, we went to there was one McDonald's I remember we went to, and the rats were fighting over the food right outside the back door, where they drop off all of the the bread and stuff like that. I mean, we're looking at. I'm sitting there, we're placing our order, and these rats are literally battling over a piece of bread, like right there at the back door, while the back door is open, wide open, to be able to go in and out. And it was like nothing, no big deal.
Nasty.
It's just, I just think nowadays it's just things are sad. I think things are just really sad. You know, it's like I try not to watch the news, because I don't like to get wrapped up in all these things, because there's nothing we can do about it. My view is my theory on life is that, like, I trust in a higher being. Okay, if I don't wake up tomorrow morning and my house is still here, then I guess that's a good day. If I wake up tomorrow morning and my house is if I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm saying that wrong.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me say that right. I've said it so many times.
If you wake up and
if
your
I
house
wake
is
up,
still
I'm thankful. Okay,
Yes.
but if I don't wake up tomorrow, my house is gone. I'm still thankful. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to deal with this craziness that's going on in the world nowadays. There's a lot of craziness going on that I don't want to deal with. What does Jim Brewer call it? He says he doesn't get he says it's not voice volume. He doesn't deal with all of the it's not chatter. Do you remember what he says? Noise. He doesn't like to deal with the noise, and that's what it is. It's a bunch of noise. It's a bunch of like this and that and the other. Everybody's just angry. Everybody's angry, all yelling at each other and fighting. I didn't see any of that. You know, I missed those days where we would stay out till the street lights came on. All the neighborhood kids knew each other. The parents would sit on the porch with each other. We knew everybody, and the kids could like run like you could go play that. I don't know what do the kids call it now when you hide in the street. It's got a name. It's a game that they play. They still play it. Is it Manhunt?
No, Ghost in the Graveyard. Oh,
no,
Manhunt.
I think it's Manhunt. That. Well, we played like a version of that where it was like the whole entire street would get together, and then we would go. One person would be it, and then there was a safe spot like behind like we had the what do you call them like a parking area, and behind that gate was like the safe spot. So you would get your prisoner, and you put your prisoner behind the gate, and they're out of the game until you find all the rest of the kids. But the whole neighborhood got together, and on top of that, every single stoop down the street, going down the street, there was a family watching other people's families. Yeah, and everybody was safe.
Used to do that.
Yeah, everybody was safe, and everybody was. Listen, they were drinking. They had their Miller High Life and their Budweisers and everything. They were drinking, but they weren't going nowhere.
Nope.
You know what I mean? They were sitting safely at their home. They weren't. These were just neighbors, knowing that. Where I'm at a point in my life where you know all the neighbors. I don't know. You could. I love when we go places and you're like, you know what that is right there, and I'm like, nope. You're like, that's our neighbor. I'm like, okay, that's our neighbor. Well, we've been living across from them for 21 years, and I'm like, well, I'm glad you're keeping an eye on them, Mrs. Kravitz. I have no idea who the heck is our neighbor. I probably could not name our neighbor in a police lineup right now if you line them up, except for maybe the neighbors next door. Like these two over here, I would definitely be able to pick them out in a lineup. But people over there up the street, I couldn't name them in a police lineup because I mind my own business. See, I think that's the thing is that the funny thing is that when I bought my car off of the neighbor over here, and he said to me, he goes, we've been neighbors for I don't know how many years. He goes, it would have been nice for you to come over and say hi. You know what I mean? He said that to me, and I felt guilty. I felt bad. I'm like, but being the way the world is, it's like you don't really want to get involved with your neighbors anymore. You don't really want to. It's scary because you don't know who the person is that's living next to you anymore.
Nope.
And the way things are, just it's crazy. It's just a crazy way that things have changed. I just wish that there was more things for our children to do in this world besides getting high and drunk. You know what I mean? I wish that there was. I mean, I just can't see how that could be fun every single day or every single week or whatever. My biggest fear is that their friends don't even take care of them. That's the worst part. Is like the friends aren't even friends. I don't know about you, but when I had friends, my friends looked out for me and I looked out for them. Where these friends are like they'll think nothing about just leaving one of them for dead in the back of a car to get hypothermia and drop dead. While they go in the house and go to sleep.
Oh yeah. No.
We got that issue that came upon quite a few times already. That part drives me nuts. I'm like, listen, that's how the guy from AC/DC died. Scott Bonham. He died of hypothermia in the back of a car. He passed out drunk, and he didn't die from alcohol poisoning. He died from he froze to death. Mm-hmm. And it's just sad that they don't even look out for each other because they're so high, they just want to get in the house. They pass out on their bed and they forget that they were with somebody. I left them in the car. I didn't even know. It's just sad. I think that there should be more things for our children to do. I think that it would be a lot better place. I think the prices of things are ridiculous. They need to make things a little bit more affordable. If that DJ club thing was to ever have happened for me, I would have charged like a $5 cover charge for them to come in, and then of course they would have to buy drinks from it would be a bar, but it wouldn't be a bar for kids. It would be because what I wanted it to be was for like 18 and under.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be like, of course they'd have to buy their sodas or whatever, but I would DJ every night on the weekends. It's just some place for them to go to hang around with their friends. But it's true. It's just the way that the kids are nowadays, violence and anger. I mean, they're angry. Like, I don't know. I had issues when I was a kid, but I have not seen so much anger as what's going on. Because when they get off that high and they have to realize that reality is setting in, they're like, they're just angry. They're angry at you because they're like, it's your fault that I'm doing this, and then they're angry at themselves. I think the biggest thing is that they're angry at themselves.
Yeah.
And they want to point the finger at somebody. And the people that are closest to you are usually the biggest targets. Mm-hmm. And then I carry around that luggage, like, of guilt. Like, what did I do wrong? Listen, in 50 years, I've done nothing but everything I possibly could do. I did the very best I could. And this is the battle that I'm going through right now. Is I'm like, I can't blame myself for other people's choices. At one point in my life, I have to realize that I did the best I could. You're making the choices you're making now. If you're struggling, take ownership of your struggle. Take the reins on your life and make it better. What do you like to say to the people at Dunkin' Donuts? Do better. Do better. Do better. Do better. Listen, I'm sorry you're having a terrible morning. I'm sorry that you don't want to work at your job. I'm sorry that you've made some kind of wrong turn somewhere in your life, but this is your job. You're working with the people. Put a smile on your face. Take my money. I'll give you a change, or I'll give you a tip or whatever, and you have a nice day and do better. I think that everybody needs to try to do a little bit better to treat, especially the way they treat people, because I just think that it's going to progressively get worse as time goes by if something does not change.
Yep.
And I don't think the answer is to open a dispensary on every corner.
No.
We have more dispensaries here than we have places for children to go play.
Mm-hmm.
It just stinks. Matter of fact, they turned one of a more popular donut place into a dispensary, and they never even changed the exterior of the donut place. So the place is shaped like a donut, but it's a dispensary. That one still blows my mind to this day. That every time we drive by it, I'm like, that was like a famous donut place, and now it's like, it's a dispensary.
That's great. We do need a lot more.
And it's always packed. Always packed.
Always packed.
I don't get it. And I'm not trying to judge people. Listen, if you get that's your thing. That's all well and good, but I think you should take your thing and take it home and relax and put on a movie, enjoy yourself, enjoy your partner, enjoy it, and just chill. Don't get behind the wheel of a car because it could be dangerous. I still tell our kids all the time, like, you got to live with yourself if you do something wrong. I know there used to be a joke back in the day. I'm pretty sure it was either Sam Kinison or Andrew Dice Clay. One of them used to say, talk about drinking and driving, and they were like, yeah, I know I'm not supposed to drink and drive, but there's no other way for me to get my car home. Well, it all it takes is one slip up, and you take out a family with children and innocent people or whatever because you were under the influence of something, and then you got to live with that for the rest of your life while you're sitting behind bars for like manslaughter, and that's the part that scares me. That's why even when I got enough brains to be like, you're sick, call somebody go pick you up. I'm sorry, I'm in this state and I feel bad, I felt guilty, but I'm like, I'm not getting behind the wheel and putting your life in danger or anybody else's life in danger. Stay home. Find a ride, call an Uber, whatever you got to do. Just keep things safe out there. But to end this off, I really do think that to make this world a little bit better,
yeah,
I think we need more places for the kids to go. Mm-hmm. Give them something more to do with their life. I mean, I know we went to that basketball place where they had like that basketball camp when our son was like into basketball, and I was like, this is such a great place. You know, the karate things. I think kids should be more involved in, doing karate and batting cages and golfing cages or whatever they call those golfing putting areas or whatever, and just enough with all of this like self-destructive behavior. That's what I think it is, self-destructive behavior, because I think the zombie apocalypse is just gonna be a bunch of people walking the street high.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be. They're not gonna be real zombies. It's gonna be people, because that's the way it is. I mean, we got that one lady that we know is got something going on in our area, and she lives in the bushes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she be whacked out of her mind. She got something going on there. She's just walking the streets and asking for $1 and asking for a nickel, and she got sores all over her face. And I feel bad for those people, but it's like, no, I'm not gonna give you $1 to go pay for your habit. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pay $1 for you to kill yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sorry. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel bad for you. Do better. Go. Clean yourself up. There's plenty of places you can go to clean yourself up and then start your life all over again. Some people do not want help. They don't want help. You can tell, no matter how many times you can tell they're doing something wrong, they will not accept that they need help. And they will fight you right till the end and keep doing the things that they're doing no matter what.
Yep.
It's really sad. But I do think that, it has a lot to do with the fact that there is nothing to do anymore. Nothing. The ice skating rinks are gone. The movie theaters are going. They're too, and even if they're not going, they're too expensive to go to. The cost of a ticket nowadays is ridiculous. And never mind if you want to get yourself a snack or whatever. There's just nothing for anybody to do anymore. And then these expensive places, let's say like a Dave & Buster's, super expensive.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy yourself. I don't know about you, but every time I've ever gone to a Dave & Buster's, I've been stressed. I can't enjoy myself because I'm like, I'm going to put $20 on this card. We're going to be here for, 5 minutes?
Not even.
Yeah, it's terrible. There's nothing for anybody to do anymore. I don't know. That's where I'm at with that. We're going to end it at this.
Okay.
So this was a nice little talk we had.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to have a little nostalgic talk, bring things back. I like to name drop some places that people remember, because I'm sure that some of my viewers, they definitely missed their not South Coast. What is it? West Coast. Was what? Not West Coast video. What the heck was it?
Suncoast.
Suncoast videos and FYEs and stuff. FYE is still open in some places or whatever, but a lot of places they're closed.
Yeah.
But we had so many stores that I missed too,
Mm-hmm.
like Apex and Sears and Zayres and Kmart and Bradley's. We had all those places. I think all the places we had to eat too. We had a Burger Chef, and we had Rustler's Steakhouse, and there were just so many places to go and so many things to do, and now there's nothing. Nothing. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I will see you later.
You should have saved me some.